Alright, it's good YouTube. Today I'm be coming at you with the guide, overall just how to play limb, what to have on your sword, the overall play style, just shit like that. So I play mist breathing, but this pretty much applies to most limb breathing, unless you're like water or something. I mean, they're all pretty viable overall, but it mainly applies to like mist, insect, thunder, flower, stuff like that. So first of all, overall just with your build, you never really want to have that much intelligence just because you want to be able to one-shot limbs, so you want to have enough technique to do that, enough affinity overall. I mean, I'm playing Mist, and the Mist passive, it's damage reduction, so I'm like a super high tanky con build. I'm going for a Nate con, I haven't got it yet, but I'm level 190, I see 10 more in the con bundle is done, so I'm overall just pretty tanky, and it helps out with like the playstyle and all that. Yeah, and then besides that, what you really want to have on your blade. Now, if you want to have like the kind of build where you're just consistently one-shotting limbs, you want to go max affinity because that'll get you there like pretty easily. Unless they're like super tanky, but most builds, especially if they're like a glass cannon or like they're not really super tanky, like high con, like you'll probably be fine. You can one-shot their limbs. I'm going Siphon personally because like I have enough damage. I'm a Nate Tech for now, but I mean I might switch that. But I get enough damage to one-shot limbs, and like also especially if you're Thunder, because if you really want to use that passive, have that like always activating, you want to go fuck ton of affinity, just because you're getting them limb cuts pretty easily. But yeah, Siphon overall just makes your fights like last a shorter period of time. So I'm gonna end up going 105, 105, not 110. So yeah. All right, for the rest of this, I'm gonna just be talking over background footage and me doing fights and stuff, just to make it easier. And then I'm gonna show like relevant clips whenever it matters. Alright, so the number one tip that I can give anyone for playing limb, or just, this kind of applies to burst too, but just mainly limb. The number one option you have, like as a limb player, is parry into one comp. Like, parry into one comp is like the most undefeated thing in this game, because like no matter how good the other player is, like that's unreactable. Especially like the deflectings, the reverse deflectings, those come out so quick. If you pair into one comp, you're almost either guaranteed a limb cut, you're guaranteed a hit, or you're guaranteed a hit on the block, which are all positive things. So like here, I'm gonna put a clip on the screen of me fighting someone and just abusing parry one comp, like just to show y'all it's really good. Damn near half my HP, by the way, just saying, it's crazy. Alright, so for the next tip, I would say this one's like probably of equal importance, and it applies to not just like limb users, but to burst users as well. Like it's an overall just good thing to know and understand. It's roll catching, and like if you played other games before, like Deep Roll Counter type, so you probably know what it is. But roll catching is like when you feint something, or you somehow make them throw out their parry and they miss it and they're holding block. 99% of players, not probably 95%, like majority of players, when they throw out their block and they miss, they're gonna dash backwards instinctively, just because they don't want to get hit, right? And, so boom. So once they do that, like, and I'll put a clip on the screen to show this as well. Once they roll backwards after like missing a parry, it's pretty much free damage unless the other person knows what they're doing. Like all you can really do to counter it, and you can do it on Slayer and Demon. Like just throw out like a super long auto parry move. So you can throw out either like a 3 comp or like a roar or something like that. That's the only really way to counter it, because your parry's on cooldown, so you can't hold block again or anything, and your dash is on cooldown. So you're pretty much just stuck there, and it's like, it's just free damage, to be honest. Like it's super, super, super good. Alright, so the next tip I have for y'all is, it's pretty common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people you see, not sticking to this. And it's related to your play style. It's really just playing passive as a limb player is like super important. Like you shouldn't be the one initiating the fights with the demon or pushing them, like playing crazy. And you shouldn't be running, obviously. That's pretty weird. But you should be sitting there playing for parries, parry one comp just like that. And especially one thing I see a lot of Slayers forget is, Slayers have regen too, bro. Especially if you're super high con, like me personally, I miss. So I have like, I hit the con cap, so I'm in a Constitution. But if you're super high con, you get crazy regen, and like it's just super good. You can play back, get a little HP back. It's just super, super good. So take advantage of that for sure. yeah, one more thing I forgot to say. This especially applies if you're flower. If you're flower, your whole play style should be hit and run, because your passive literally gives you an insane like dash. It makes you dash way farther, way faster. It's like makes you invisible. I think it's really stupid. So like you should really be hitting, running, you know, playing back, parry one comp, run, dash backwards, playing for Regen. Like as a flower player, that's like your number one thing. That's how you win most of your fights on flower. Alright y'all, this is the last tip I got for you. And this one's a little more complicated, a little bit more niche. So you're not really gonna be using it in all your fights. You're really only gonna be like doing this whenever the person you're fighting is really good. So as Lin players, you know, our best option obviously is parry one comp. So what a lot of demons will do in retaliation to that, or in, you know, to play against that, is as soon as you parry them, they're gonna instantly throw out their block, throw out their parry, because they're gonna expect you to use a one comp. So to counteract this, what you can do is literally just parry and look at them and don't do anything at all, because they're gonna throw out their block, and you can either wait for them to dash backwards instinctively and roll catch them like I just showed you before, or you can hit their block and get free posture damage up, or go for M1, or just go for whatever, to be honest. Because this works a lot. You'd be surprised, because, you know, especially for people who aren't on the best ping, all they can really do is predict parry, because, you know, they're not going to react to that, and even if they could, then like, you know, their ping is too high to actually do anything about it. So it's pretty useful. And I'll throw a clip in there of me like doing this if I have one, but if not, shit, I don't know, might be too lazy. And with that, that's all the tips I got. I probably got a few more, but they don't really apply. These are more like broad things that you can just do in your fights to help you win more. So if they helped you, let me know, and yeah, go out there and go crazy, bro. Win them stocks.